aren't even sure you should. So you keep it all bottled in, sentiments sealed tighter than a mason jar, dying to be popped, so you can release your inside sacred contents. But you don't possess the necessary savvy to embark on that task. A wordsmith you're not, so I, your honorable rep, graciously step in and handle it for you. I pop your seal, relieve your psychological pressure, allow you to be heard through words you only dream of being capable of conjuring up to express how you truly feel, take you through the complete emotional gamut. Yes, I tell your darkest secrets, divulge all your personal business, speak candidly about you, your joys and pain, make you laugh, take you down memory lane, back to the good old days, remind you of a time when life was sweet. Then, without missing a beat, I flip the script right before your bedazzled eyes and go into full disclosure about your discontented mental state. Unapologetically dredge up all the contents in your guarded Pandora's box. Let loose the heap of clandestine tales you swore on stacks of Bibles to throngs of trusting souls you keep tucked neatly away from the masses forever. I boldly inhabit your fettered tongue, and without the slightest inhibition speak your unaltered truth in ways that sometimes make you squirm, make you sweat, make you cry. Yes, I take it there, dishing info on you that you don't always want me to, because it reminds you of that boarded up room in your weighted conscience that you keep purposely walking past, that you need to clean out. I tell it all, because I have no shame in my lyrical game, but you do, which is why you rely on me, hide behind me, use me to confront others in ways you know you never will. I'm your audacious partner in crime, always down to do your dirty work. The colossal set of balls you long to one day own, and that you pay me to borrow, if you could. I'm at your service 24 hours a day. Whatever you need me to say, I will find a way, because I'm versatile, shrewd, my inflections are infinite, incomparable, and basically, I'm just that damn good. Allow me to formally introduce myself. My name is poetry. Right there, thank you, I'm sorry. So, I am Charlene E. Green, otherwise known as Hustle Diva. Hustle is to work energetically or to gain by energetic effort. Diva is the Italian word for goddess, and a synonym for energetic is dynamic. So, I am a dynamic goddess. So what we're going to do is go on a journey through each of my 6 books. So I'm going to do one poem from each book, and it's going to be the signature poem from each of those books. So the poem you just heard is actually the title of my 4th book, which is Vicariously Speaking. But we're going to start with book 1, which is From Me to You Through Mine Eyes, Visual Excursion. And the top poem from that book is Misinformed, If the Shoe Fits.
I love that one. Oh, yeah. I haven't heard it from you.
So this is for Pat, since her birthday was yesterday.
Yeah, thank you.
I guess you thought that after we were done, my world would fall apart. Crumble to little pieces like when an earthquake hits and the ground breaks and buildings, they separate, then come tumbling down? Yeah, like that. But somebody done told you wrong. See, I just want to set the record straight so you can tell the story the way it's supposed to be told. Not with your own twists and turns, embellishments and enhancements, trying to puff yourself up and deflate me in the process. The real story goes like this. I knew I was in too deep real early on. It was going to have to back that thing up and out the door. Right around the time you started treating me like some old hand-me-down trinket, or better yet, like that old dusty pair of shoes. You know, the ones way in the back of your closet. The ones you only pay attention to every blue moon because you got 11 other pairs of shoes that are so much more important. Yeah, like that. And I guess you thought just because I loved you and I really did want us to work, that I was going to let you keep shoving me in the back of the closet, allowing dust to collect on all my good love while day after day you chose other shoes over me. But somebody done told you wrong. Because while you traipsed around town with your feet in all those other shoes that didn't even fit you right, that gave me time to breathe, to air out, so to speak. You know, like neglected shoes have time to do when they've been cast aside. And I started making plans to get to stepping to another closet, your feet out of them? Yeah, like that. And I guess you might have got beside yourself, started thinking you were cute and thought that no other feet could replace yours. But somebody done told you wrong. Because what had happened was, one day while you were out wearing down the soles on one of those other unfortunate pairs of shoes, I got up, blew the cobwebs off me, laced myself up nice and tight, and eased on down the yellow brick road. And what I found when I got to the end was more love, respect, admiration, honesty, and special treatment than I ever knew existed. And you know what the best part was? There were no other shoes there but me. So I know once you realized I was long gone and what you had lost, you kicked yourself real hard. And then, not understanding that whole concept of appreciating and nurturing the exceptional relationship you have, because you rarely find true love more than once in a lifetime, you thought you could just run out right quick and find all that you had in me at the drop of a hat. But somebody done told you wrong. Because when you got out there in that vast sea of shoes, oops, surprise, surprise, you couldn't find the right size. There were none out there that fit you as perfectly as I did. And there you stood, barefoot and out of luck, while I was off with my new boo, getting shined and polished and buffed on a regular basis, and loving every step those new feet and I took together. Yeah, like that. I know you thought that in time you'd be okay without me because you had all those other shoes lined up waiting to be the new me. But guess what? Somebody done told you wrong. You've been misinformed. So Pat was in the front row, like, reciting the poem with me. So I had to not look at her so I could stay on track.
Do you know that I actually stood up and dared to do that poem when you weren't there?
That went well.
Oh, it was fun.
All right, book 2. From me to you through mine eyes. True visionary. No, that's high visibility. High visibility is number 2. And this is homage. They ask me over and over how I do it, where it comes from, and if I can teach them. I give the proverbial answer, I get it from my mama. But that statement lacks accuracy since my mama, although granted the same ability, doesn't do it exactly like I do. Really, I get it from deep within the recesses of my spirit where, upon my conception, I was injected with the seed of this gift that, undetected at first, was blooming within me all along. Yes, I said gift. I acknowledged it, owned it, embraced it. Because to not do so would make me unappreciative and make me that much less able to tap into my souvenir's beauty and share it with those around me, many of whom have the same aptitude, but it's still wrapped in a pretty little box inside their soul, undetected, as was mine for a spell, possibly never to be revealed without the proper stimulation. And who am I to believe that I cannot motivate another to connect with and release his or her innate mutual talent? This world feeds off inspiration. Sometimes I worry about when the next creation will leak from my brain's remarkable database and drain through my hands, but to wait that magical moment, jonesing like two pitiful strung-out fiends for the similes and verses to flow to the tips of my fingers and discharge their potent substance, each swift stroke across the keyboard supplying me with that junky high. But now I realize that I shouldn't vex, ever, because the capability that's implanted within us once sperm and egg merge is automatically part of our DNA. It is our filament. And from the moment we enter this life with our endowment to the day of our homegoing, it is ours to keep, whether we use it or not. And it makes perfect sense to me now. A true gift is not taught. Skills are taught. But an authentic knack streams freely from within, effortlessly without thought, and must be honed routinely to maintain its vitality and freshness, and to stave off dormancy. Pay close attention to that thing you do so well, not having had an ounce of training, and you will find in your everyday actions your gift is shining through. And what's unfortunate is that you don't see it as a bequest. You dismiss it as just something you do, never really giving thought to how it might change someone else's life should you actually attend to and nurture it the way it deserves. Can I teach you? Yes. I can provide you with dexterity, show you what it takes to piece the English language's complexities together in order to stir and titillate the mind and heart of another. I can explain the process, my process, and offer you the tools to build your methods. But what I cannot give you is natural ability in this realm, because you have your own, in a different one, in a place you have not yet found, inside a part of you that is waiting for the latch to be lifted, doors to be flung wide open and be set free, for you to bask in it, play with it, perfect it, use it to effect change. Then you too will be asked, how do you do it? Where does it come from? And can you teach me? What is your gift? Find it, honor it, share it. Okay, now we're at book 3, and that is From Me to You Through Mine Eyes, True Visionary. This is Word. Hey, have you heard? Word on the street is, I'm being talked about. My name is in the mouths of many, because many are in amazement about the fact that I'm so crafty with words they can't even put into words how my words move them. And not to be cocky, but I'm going to venture to say that truer words have never been spoken, because sometimes I got to tell you, I look back at these words I write and can't even believe I wrote the damn thing. When they flow from my pen, it's like I'm not in control. I'm not really me. It's like I suddenly transform and go into a trance and start transcending with verbs, subjects, adjectives, and nouns, any and all mental barriers standing in the way of my sought-after wordplay. And once I've risen far above that cloud of writer's block, I'm then free to do what I do best, which is drop these written bombs on your eyes from so high in the sky that the explosion of wisdom ricocheting off the page demolishes your 70-20 and brings back your 20-20, enabling you to finally see clearly and see I can do all that for you without specs or contacts or even LASIK. And hell, when you really think about it, you just saved a bundle by switching to WordCo. But I'm not that timid little green gecko from Geico. I'm the ever-verbose, more aggressive than most Charlene E. Green, who spits these verbal loogies so deep in your ears that you go deaf to everything else around you but the sound of my voice as my message travels to your brain and changes the game of your mind, and these potent stanzas rearrange your jumbled thought process, erasing confusion and eliminating delusion. And through the validity of my speech, your mind's eye is now wide open, giving you the long-awaited ability to piece the loose pieces of your mental jigsaw puzzle in the right place, bringing you lasting peace thanks to my hefty piece of word pie your senses voraciously devoured as if you would die. And I know you want more, but understand that I'm a word whore. I spread my truth around all over town, and I'm sorry, honey, but I can't be tied down. I'm mean, always on the prowl. I find them, freak them. Ladies type verses on them so hard it tweaks them. Then when I see that greedy look in their eyes, I know my job is done. And to their surprise, I bounce. I'm out. I scamper away like that roach in your house you've been chasing all day. But catch me, you can't, and as I flee, I hear you chant, damn, that was good. Damn, that was good. Damn, that was good. And poof, I'm gone. Off to meet my high quota of mind pimping through unprotected word sexing, infecting craniums left and right with PIV, positive influence virus, and hoping those whose heads I've invaded will help me out a little. Go buck wild and generate pandemonium by starting a nationwide pandemic until one day the virus is so out of control that no one can escape its hold, and pretty soon everyone will have it. There'll never be a cure, and the world will then drum forevermore to this new beat collaboratively created called infinite love. And once that takes place, my mission will be, in a word, complete. Book 4, vicariously speaking, this is self-construction. Every day is a new day for me to add a new brick to this complicated building I call myself. A never-ending structure that requires my full attention and dedication daily, but at the end of the day, the fact remains it won't be any more complete than it was the day before, because in the grand scheme of things, this project was never meant to be finished, only improved upon continuously, made stronger, sturdier, more attractive. The most inspiring model on the block, the one with all the qualities and amenities everyone else wants their selves building to have. And if they spend more time focusing on their own floor plan instead of looking at other people's, it could. Each day I fight to be true to myself and stay on the path myself told me to get on and that I know I belong on. But sometimes myself finds it hard to listen to itself's truth, because I'm too busy entertaining the false truth that the leak in myself's roof lets seep through and damage the floors my self-esteem was standing on, causing me to fall through to the depths of confusion and despair. And once again, the foundation is in need of repair. But I'm tired, because it took me a long time to put in those floors. Note to self, next time use better quality wood. A new day of construction is a new mystery, because half the time I can't predict what life's weather is going to be or what tools I'm going to need in case of a severe storm, or if I'll even be able to access them. Because sometimes my toolbox is locked and I can't find the key. So if today compassion and patience are what I need, Here's hoping Home Depot has them stocked up in the do-it-yourself aisle. Otherwise, the day's work might not get done. See, I try to be nice and invite folks over to see my progress, show them how myself has grown and changed, give them a taste of what I've accomplished so far. But people are careless, and they come in forgetting that I'm a work in progress. And the next thing I know, they've torn a gaping hole in my joy, knocked over my bucket of love, broken my last jar of confidence, sat on my kind heart, spilled hurtful words all over my feelings, and used up every drop of my trust. Then I'm set back what seems like 5 years. All that hard work down the tubes. And I'm sorry I ever let their sorry asses in. Warning to self. Be very careful whom you allow access to the most delicate areas of your establishment from now on, being especially cautious of haters, because they don't give a damn about you or your hard-earned evolution. Sometimes just knowing myself will never be completely built makes me want to go on strike, like not lay another brick, pound in any more nails, or insert those beams. I want to throw my hands up in distress and scream out loud that I've done my best and I can't do anymore. And then I want to kick rocks and just vacate the site for a few weeks. And I even want to picket. But then I realized I'd look stupid picketing my own growth and advancement. Because there's no one there to fight for myself but myself. And if I'm wasting time fighting with myself over the fact that I don't want to fight to be a better self, then in retrospect, I'm actually being selfish. Because now I'm denying the world my own self-improvement, which is very necessary in order for myself to be able to have healthy relationships and be a positive influence on others. So I guess that idea is out. See, this self-construction biz is personal, so I can't really hire anyone to help me because no one can change or enhance myself except myself, which is sometimes hard for myself to accept. Because that means no matter how many ways I try to get out of it, I'll never be able to. I've got to do all the work, which I guess isn't such a bad thing after all. Because they say if you want something done right, you should do it yourself. And this work will never end. It's an everyday battle to solidify my self's constitution and make sure each piece is drilled, caulked, hammered, and glued as tight as it can be. So although I know myself will never be complete, I know for sure that as long as myself is at the helm, myself will always be in the best hands. Anybody who wants to get slapped in the face right quick?
Yeah.
That's what I'm about to do. I'm about to slap you all in the face right quick. Book 5, my sentiments exactly. This is Zookeeper. If your back is breaking, it's because you've let too many monkeys ride it. Gave them all carte blanche over your mental, and now you've lost control. They've made it and multiplied. Every which way you turn, a different monkey is tearing you down, victimizing you. And you scream at them to get off your paper-thin vertebrae, to let you have a moment's peace. But they've come in droves, and their screams are louder. They drown out your pleas, heckle you even, hard, until you finally just say, fuck it, take everything, my sanity, my health, my will to live, my last breath. Because I can't control you. You have won. You wouldn't willingly let a burglar in to clean out your home, so why do you let the monkeys rob you of your spirit? Why won't you fight to protect your physical temple? Does your home have more value? Is that why you secure it with a top-notch alarm system, but you leave the door to your soul wide open, monkeys eating away at your intestines, wreaking havoc on your plaintive esteem, ripping the feeble beat clear out of your heart, impairing your psyche on levels that you can't even articulate? Where's the deadbolt for that entrance? Why aren't you going out of your way to see that your emotions are properly policed to ensure their safety? Why isn't that important to you? I want that to be important to you. It needs to be. I want to slap you belligerent. Want to see you display dauntless insolence. Want you to show me that you have the resolve to shield yourself from harm. Because you deserve to have the strength to be able to put a blockade around your being so massive that no monkey of any size or fortitude can ever infiltrate. But your love of self is crumb-sized. And sadly, it's only made larger when someone else appears to love you. And when they take that love away, the crumb that you grasp for with the slippery tips of your fingers does nothing but get smaller. So small that you wonder how you can see it in the first place. And although your tear-blurred pupils do have it in focus, you're afraid to grip it, mold it, develop it on your own, because you think you're inept. So sure that if you even try, your tears will wash it away. You have no trust in yourself, So instead, you put it in everything else, in people who mean you no good, in things that can be wiped out in a blink. You pin all your hopes on outside sources to give you the inner solidarity you desire. And when it's all said and done, nothing and no one is ever there for you except you. And you don't even like you. You can't stand being near you. You wish you were a different you so that you could finally smile at your own reflection. But since you know that's never going to happen, you continue to resign yourself to the monkeys, letting them run rampant in your wretched life, breaking your back with so much force that you just go ahead and lie down for them. Let them stomp all over you, because you dealing with you is just too damn hard. And besides, you're not even worth your own effort. Right? Book 6. You better write. This is my latest book. It came out a year ago. This is my anthem. This is knowledge. What you know about not knowing when everybody else does? What you know about how that feels? What you know about waking up every morning, question marks creeping through your psyche about your journey, about where the support from people who said they would, ignored you when you asked when of the next pay, about perseverance for breakfast, lunch, dinner, disappointment for a midnight snack? What you know about that being the only meal you got sometimes? What you know about a dozen cracks in your faith, about trying to glue them up with smiles and hope, about tears that sneak up on you when you're trying to push through, trying to hold on to your sanity, trying to enjoy the day, make it be the one you can finally write home about, sneak up and snatch the light right out your eyes, make it so you can't see the one at the end of the tunnel, make your soul slip, fall, and shatter in the river that slides off your face. Tell me what you know about this bag of fuckets that keeps getting bigger, growing heavier by the week, so many that they poking holes in it, falling out, and into your attitude some days. About walking around feeling like a tsunami on a sunny 90-degree day, like a 10-car pileup too convoluted to free yourself from. What you think you know? Huh? You don't know like I know. About purpose, passion, sacrifice, about trust in destiny, about loyalty to your spirit, to your craft, about the repo man, about eviction, about standalone spirit in the midst of side eyes and critical commentary, about remembering what you had and wondering if all this is worth losing it for. You don't know. You don't know a damn thing about this. You don't know about the power of purpose, kind of hold it has on you, how it make your spirit swoon and sway every time you think about it. Breathe new life into you whenever you touch it, whenever you bless people with it. How all you want to do is be up under it all day at all costs, like a new lover got you whipped. You are its bitch in the most gratifying way. Hell yeah, you take orders. Gladly, jump high as it wants. Giggle like a silly lovesick child when you do. This purpose, nothing else matters when you in it. Distractions have you salty because the sensation it gives you is the sweetest, greatest joy you ever feel. Joy that can't nobody take from you. This that DNA crack. Leave you with that healthy high. All natural drug you came from the womb with, running through your bloodstream. Narcotic to give you all your act right. Your greatest shine, finest temperament. The only drug to cure what ails you. Can't nothing but death keep you from it. Ain't no pain, no stress, no obstruction wicked enough to derail that train. That train go regardless. Ain't no escaping this thing. Ain't no walking away because you frustrated, because the road bumpier than a 5-mile construction zone. Where you think you going? Where you running to? You think you about to dodge heredity? That ain't how this works. You can't leave. How you leave yourself? Where they do that at? This thing is home. Emotional security, comfort food, extra helpings of dessert, shelter from cerebral storms, even when it is the storm, even when it's disorder and spilled milk. Oh, you can cry. Go ahead and cry over that milk. But I bet you clean it right on up. Get right on back to task. because you here with this purpose conjoined through all your numbered days to let it serve you so you can serve it to the world with all the bells and whistles it lets you create till all who need it from you get it, till you get called home. Now, tell me what you think you know about this double-edged sword, this purpose all up in you that you can't undo. What you know about that daily keep on? About the strength it takes, the balls you gotta grow, the spiritual judo you need to know to overthrow the devil on this path every day so you can deliver these goods to the people, for yourself. Leave your mark, convenience these lives, heal these hearts, soothe these minds, and show up every time looking like you never even broke a sweat. Nah, you don't know. You don't know a damn thing about this.